Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, the podcast that helps you learn the business skills you need as a childcare center director to build enrollment, retain your best teachers, and get your center operating just how you want it. I'm Noelle Dentino. I'm a fellow childcare center owner and active director with my sister Sarah. We operate a successful childcare center in Massachusetts. By merging my background in business with Sarah's background in early education, we found the perfect recipe for a successful center. We have a membership for directors that teaches short training videos with done-for-you business process so you can implement and take action today. When childcare center directors implement these practices, they create the center they always dreamed of, a thriving childcare center community. The Directors Club podcast will provide you with simple business tips to help you get things done at your childcare center. Episode number 4, Changing Up the Job Ad. Hey there, it's Noelle from the Directors Club, and do I have a hot topic for you today? Hiring. What can I say? In 2019, we would post a job ad and we'd get lots of applicants, and for some reason, my ads attracted the baristas, but we'd schedule a few interviews of some of the more qualified candidates and praying that one of them would show. And it was like winning the big lottery if we found the one, right? You know, when you find that one in the mix and you're like, oh, you're just so happy. And it was pins and needles, hoping the person would show on their first day. And they did, and that was amazing. And then you get to day 30 and you just breathe that sigh of relief that like you feel like you finally found somebody. And now in 2021, we can't get anybody to apply. I have an ad out there right now for a toddler lead teacher, and I've had 38 views on it and not one applicant. Scary times, right? So as we begin to open up more and more across this country, and people are going to, come back and look for work, let's see if we can do something to change the outcome of us finding qualified candidates for our positions. So what's going to happen on my podcast right now is I'm going to first today talk to you about writing a different type of job ad that sells your center to potential candidates versus you telling them what you're looking for. We're going to turn the job ad upside down. Next week, I'm going to plan to talk to you about a strategy to get the word out to as many people as possible. And I have been researching and attempting things myself, so I have a lot to share with you next week on the podcast. And then right after that, the following week, we're going to develop an employee onboarding plan to welcome your new teacher. And this will include an introduction to the benefits, all the employees, the policies, and procedures. And it's going to set all of you up for success. But this week, we're focusing on the job ad, right? The job ad typically has just been something where we tell our potential candidates what we're looking for, the qualifications that we're looking for. We tell them what skill sets we want and what type of person we want. And that's really focusing the ad on us as companies. And I feel like we need to switch it around and talk to them as if we're selling to them. And I was talking to an HR executive last year about this topic. And that's when we got to discussing this. And so I have changed my job ad. And at the end of last year, I was able to attract, you'll get this story, 3 candidates who are awesome. One of them is still here and I love her to death. One of them never came. And then the third one, she left after a month because she had personal issues. Like, it's always the way. So first thing to note, hiring is a full-time job. So make time every day for hiring. But I feel like if we change our job ad, we're going to attract better people. And those 3 people that I'm talking about, they were really qualified and really had more what was more important to me, really had the skills and the personal qualities that I'm looking for. I would rather hire someone that has a deep belief in my company culture versus skill sets of early education, because we can teach that. It's so easy for us to teach curriculum, to teach curriculum implementation, classroom management. Those are things that we can teach. And those are things that, checklists and trainings, and we can teach all that. But we can't teach someone to be respectful. That's hard to do, right? We can't teach someone all the time to show up on time, right? But what we're really looking for is to enhance the team that we have by adding more individuals that believe in our community and our company culture. And so I want to restructure the job ad so it talks more about community and culture, compensation, and benefits before it even hits the job description. Because you and I both know, they all know exactly what's expected in a preschool teacher, right? If you're asking somebody, we have a preschool lead teacher, you need to be certified, you need to have a degree, you need to have so many years experience in. Like, they know what's expected. There's not a big difference between your preschool and my preschool, right? But there is a big difference between company culture and compensation and how we handle things and what we believe in. So I think those are things that can help us sell our centers to these potential employees, because we all know that our centers can get full of drama sometimes, right? You'll have a few of your employees that don't believe in your company culture, and those are people that are just continuously going to move on, right? And we need to try and fill those jobs. All right, so let's dig into the job ad. So we're going to talk about, when you kick off your job ad, I want you to talk about your company, community, and your culture. And culture is based on shared beliefs that you have with your team, right? And things like how you value your employees and that you want a respectful work environment. So the first section of our company, of our job ad, the first section of our job ad is going to be company culture and community. So we kind of kick off the job ad with giving a little bit of background about your center and who you are. So you could say, like, mine is Scribble Time, has 9 classrooms and a team of 25 teachers educating and caring children from the ages of 6 weeks and 6 years. You can talk about maybe what year you were there, if you've been there a long time or a little bit newer. I'd also provide your website so someone could go check out all about your company. Then I get into the culture of the company. I think that's really important. And I was looking up so I could share with you on a website that I found, where it says that organizational culture is a collection of values, expectations, and practices that guide and inform the actions of all team members. So you got to think about it, like, what traits are you looking for? in an employee. Like I'm looking for like a respectful work environment. I'd like a diverse work environment where we value everyone's backgrounds that they're coming in. And I like to have a lot of fun. So we love to laugh here at Scribble Time. In the good times, the stressful times, we always try to find a way to bring a smile and a laugh and just to de-escalate the stress, right? So as I kick off my company culture section, I'm talking about how we value a respectful work environment, embrace the diversity of our team, and love to have fun. Our team is supportive of new teachers, and each new teacher comes on board with 3 days of spending time with a variety of employees, getting comfortable in the environment, learning the Scribble Time process, and getting to know everyone. You will also participate in an online orientation during this time, and your supervisor will help you get adjusted to your room and support you as you make this new room your own. So really just kicking off the job ad with who we are and some company things that we like to talk about. So this is telling people now that, we're looking for respectful people, not the drama. We embrace diversity. We love everyone's different backgrounds that they come from and ideas, and we like to have fun. And then we talk a little bit about just to ease that anxiety, because you know how people have anxiety coming to a new company, but the anxiety of we're not just going to throw you in the room in the numbers. We are going to onboard you and help you adjust to the new center that you're working at so that you feel comfortable and confident when you're working in it. And I like to let them know that I'm not so rigid in the classroom, right? When you come in and you're going to lead one of my classrooms, it's your classroom. And I want them to know that before they come. So these are things that, like, as a potential employee, they're reading this and they're like, oh, that sounds interesting. It's easing my anxiety a little bit, right? And also that they're going to have that flexibility in their classroom, which I think is important to talk about. We also talk about believing in providing our teachers with the necessary resources to be able to develop their creative curriculum. So I want them to know that we invest in that. You're going to have access to the biggest arts, crafts, and toy storage room you've ever seen. You'll be paid for plan time, have access to extras for those crazy, messy activities, and feel supported if you ever have questions or feel overwhelmed. So I'm letting these teachers know that when you come here, our company is going to support you in your job and provide you with the resources that you need and the support. It's not always just about, we have all these things, but the people to help you through it. And I think my management team speaks volumes in their actions, and I want that to come across in my job ad. As leaders in early education, we know how hard you work, and we want to provide you with the right environment. Scribble Time abides by all state laws and takes pride in being known for that. You will find our team is fair, ensuring everyone has a good work-life balance, not just the long-term employees, but all. We have a respectful work environment here, and I want people to know that. I also want people to know that we abide by the laws, because that's hard for some people. If you've worked at centers that are a little bit more lax in their implementation of regulations, we're not. I want people to know that we take it seriously. And when I have conversations with potential employees and they talk to me about that, it makes them feel better. Because one of them just said to me recently when I was speaking to her that she appreciated that we did follow the laws, because she was uncomfortable working at a place she was working at prior that didn't. And that you want to be known for addressing situations and having a fair workplace to work in, right? And also the fact that sometimes people don't leave their jobs because they're so scared that, they're going to get the worst shift or they're not going to get the time off that they want. And at Scribble Time, we like to bring people on, and everyone gets vacation time and sick time and all that, and they can take it. It's not just going to, the people that have been here forever aren't just going to be the ones that get the time off. everyone is going to get a fair shot. So really talking about your company culture, talking about the things that you believe in and the environment that you're going to set them up in, so that they feel less stressed. Next up is discussing compensation. You can put a blurb in there that you have competitive wages, that you evaluate salaries annually or however you do it, and maybe giving a salary range. And that kind of helps people to determine, if that's a job that they want to apply for. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get an assistant applying for something and you wrote your max is $19 an hour and she's going to get that. So you can set expectations. I always put a big range, like 15 to 20 an hour, because it covers the gamut of experience. The next section that you want to showcase is your benefits. So what are the benefits that you have as an employer? So in mine, I just list out the benefits that we have, which is health insurance and how much we cover. We also offer supplemental insurance through AFLAC, dental, vision. We give paid time off per year. We give 13 to 15 paid holidays. We're very fortunate to be renting from a college who offers 50% off their college tuition to our employees. And then if you're lucky enough to live in Massachusetts and you work at a early education center, you have access to the EEC College Scholarship, which is a program that pays for you to get up to your bachelor's in early education for free and includes all the fees in the books. So that's an awesome benefit. And while I personally don't pay for that, it is something that you have access to if you work for me. So we include that in the benefits. We also offer all the resources that they need. And then the last thing that we offer is we're paying for their 20 hours of professional development training that they can access anytime online through a program that we have. Before I even get into the job description, which is going to be next, I put a little COVID and safety precaution section. And I talk about what we're doing at the center to protect our team members. And I go into, that we provide PPE, that we have cleaning checklists in place to ensure we're doing it, that we're managing health illnesses for the students. I want my employees to know that although the parents do pay for our service, that does not come into play when we have to send someone home sick, right? If you're sick and you have an illness, whether it was COVID or not COVID, we're treating you the same way. We're following state policies. So I like to make sure that they know that their safety and health is like a priority to me, just as important as the kids. I let them know about, we have a cleaning company that comes in and cleans at night and all the things that we do during the day. And I also I said that we've remained a healthy community throughout the entire pandemic. I want them to know that we took this seriously and we will continue to take health and safety seriously for as long as that we're in business, because we've been doing this for 16 years. And honestly, even with the COVID precautions, nothing really changed here besides face masks and social distancing. We have always prided ourselves on following the state policies a little bit over the top when it comes to cleaning and health, because that can also be an issue that people are having coming back to work. They're so concerned about the environment that they're going to be working in, because maybe they have something going on with themselves personally, health-wise, or someone at home. And I want them to feel confident when they come here to Scribble Time. And then after I do that, I put in a qualification. I'm not listing all of them, but I put the qualification. I'm looking for someone with 1 to 3 years experience in the preschool classroom and must hold a Massachusetts Department of Early Ed preschool license. And then under that, I put 2 sentences all about the classroom. You're going to be responsible for leading the pre-K classroom or the preschool classroom, overseeing 20 students, managing the day, with the support of a strong teacher in the classroom and developing ongoing relationships with the families and their students. So you're kind of taking the job ad now, and instead of focusing it just on the description and the qualifications that you want, my job ad is like 90% selling to them. So I'm going again through community and culture. And when I talk about community, I talk about the things that are going on in our community. We have private Facebook groups. We're engaging a ton with the families and with each other. My staff has a private Facebook group where we all share funny quotes, share cool activities. Many of us are petrified of animals, like exotic animals, and then we have another group that loves them. So we'll all share pets that we've seen in people's classrooms. That's what we were doing the other day with this gigantic snail that was freaking me out. So we kind of just like to show our people what we have, and that we like to have fun and we like to connect and communicate. You're talking about compensation, you're talking about your benefits, and then you're going into really brief on the qualifications and really brief on what you're doing in the job for the job description. I mean, you can go all out and put the full copy of your job description underneath it for those that want to see it, but I would lead in with community, culture, compensation, and benefits. I feel like those are the things that if we can focus on that will really help us to show what your center's like to a potential employee, and hopefully some of the key words that you're putting in here, like you're adding in that you want a respectful workplace. You're adding in that you follow the state laws. You're communicating that you have a good work-life balance. You're communicating the benefits, just shows the value that you have on your employees. You value them so much, we give this to you. And then relieving some stress and discussing safety and health precautions before even hitting the job description, right? So I want you to take some time and try and think of some things you can add to your job description right before you get into the actual job description. And I want you to rewrite your job ad and try posting that one. And then next Wednesday, I'm hoping that you come back and listen to the podcast that we have, because once we get this posted, I have a list of places that we can talk about it, share it, things we can do to promote ourselves, and set ourselves up for success as we begin pulling more people into our centers to work with us. So I hope you learned something. If you did, I would love it if you'd give us a rating. Let me know if we're on the right target with the topics that we're talking about, because this podcast is for you. I'm an active childcare center director. I totally get what you're going through, but I want to make sure that the information I'm sharing is relevant to help you right now with what you need. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have an awesome week, ladies. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Directors Club. We hope you found tips, tools, and strategies valuable for your childcare center. To access even more resources and take your center to new heights, visit our website at thedirectorsclub.net. There you'll find a wealth of exclusive content, training programs, and support tailored specifically to childcare center owners and directors. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock your center's full potential. Remember, success starts here at the Directors Club.